Been a little while, but I'm still plugging away slowly on this 1957 Corvette, doing this FI Tech fuel injection conversion on it. The carburetor system before used a mechanical fuel pump hanging out the side of the engine block. That's what this is. I've since just put on a block-off plate on the block, which is right down there. And the fuel injection system requires a fuel pump, a fuel feed line, and a fuel return. This car, underneath the top, is a removable panel. And here we have the gauge sender over there, and we have the fuel feed over here. There is no return because carburetors are returnless. They just deadhead right at the front. So what I did is I tapped it for M10 by 1.0. And it didn't tap that great. It's really thin metal, so I put some RTV around it too. We'll see if that survives. RTV is really not great with fuel, but again, we'll see. It's not under any pressure, so it might be okay. So it's an M10 by 1.0 banjo to a -4 AN 45 degree hose end. And then I'm actually going on a -4 fitting to a -6 hose with a hose clamp. All the way down through the floor pan, which there's a nice hole for already. And then I've got some hose down here, which I'm going to run, I guess, until it reaches my return line, which is right here, right by my new -6 AN stainless as well. The feed just comes out here. This is one of those fake AN clamp things that was already on there, so I'm going to reuse it. And then my return line, I'm just going to run and braid it all the way back until I can get nearer to this guy. And just put a hose end, a little double-sided barb fitting in there. For the feed, I do still have to put a fuel filter and a fuel pump in. That's going to be underneath the car. There's actually a pretty nice, fuel pump unit I got from Phytech. This came with a bunch of line and fittings, and it was like $250, so hopefully it's good. It is very heavy. It's got some fittings that comes with it. It's got a little bit of a filter sock in it too. But I am optimistic. I'll find a spot to mount it under the car. And then after that, it's just the 2 wires, and they come up and they'll plug straight into the engine computer off the throttle body. It's got a completely self-contained fuel pump relay, and I think it's even got a self-contained fan relay, which is pretty cool. The wiring on this kit basically amounts to these 2 guys. There's a wideband wire that runs down straight to the wideband O2, and then we've got those. Beyond that, it's just, I think there's a coolant temp sensor I got to plug in as well to one of the ports on this intake manifold here. The new, I forget what you call these, 2-stage, I'm really blanking on it, but dual plane, that's what it is, dual plane manifold. The water neck sits a little bit further back, so I'm not sure if I'll be able to use that fancy scrunchy stainless steel hose or if I'll have to adjust it. Either way, we'll figure it out. I'm not too worried about it. And here's my air cleaner plenum. I'll still have to fab up some hoses and some filters or something. It's really not the style of this car, but it's the only thing that fits under the hood. So, as you can tell, it's pretty close, but the hood does close, so close counts. These are dual 4-inch inlets, so there's going to be some chunky filters on there. Pardon me. And yeah, that's about it for now. It's going pretty swimmingly. I haven't had much time to work on it. I've had some other priorities, but making progress, and hopefully this car will be reliable and fun when it's all done.